Come on, go. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
See if there's anybody. If there's anybody in the comments, let me know. Please. There's one person.
Yep, and I've got a special guest with me tonight, as you can see.
Yeah, see, this is so cute.
Oh, she's not cute when she's running about, let me tell you. But yeah, so how is everybody? Everybody well?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Good.
All good.
Well,
today, there's
oh,
Dan.
here he is.
Hello,
This is
everybody. Sorry,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dan.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to
Hey,
you.
thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Happy
How's
birthday,
everybody this
buddy.
evening? Sorry, I'm a bit late. How's everybody?
Yeah, all good.
Good.
What have you done with that beard?
I shaved it off. I'm going to grow it back. I feel a bit naked with that, to be honest with you. So I'm growing it back. But yeah.
I posted that picture. Hey.
I thought that was funny,
funny,
that. That's definitely me as a kid. Definitely me as a kid. Although it had a better beard than me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Good. So what? Oh, history versus the paranormal. No Vivian on tonight.
I think she's running late.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think she cuts it fine, doesn't she? Getting back from work.
Mm.
We got nobody in the chat either. We got two people watching, but nobody says hello.
Two people. I don't know.
I'm sharing.
Oh, well done. Hello, William. Hope you're well.
Hey, William. Hey, love.
Sorry about the light behind me. It's a pain. Sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. I'm
blocking
the position anyway.
I need to get my haircut as well.
It's not that bad. Actually, it's pretty nice. Oh, there's the
angelic look.
Right
yeah.
there she
Hello,
is.
Viv.
Hey, Viv.
I'll just do something quick.
Go on.
Happy birthday.
Already done it.
We've already done it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear my mate Daniel.
Yay!
Happy birthday to you, because he's an old man.
Now we'll get round there and give me the bumps.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you 60 slaps when I see you.
60? 60? 60? Blimey.
I'll give you 60 kisses.
I've got a few of that thing. I've got a few years to go yet. Everybody all right then? Everybody had a good weekend?
I need to ask you something after the show, Dan, so don't
I'm going
run
to
away
shoot
too quickly.
after the show because I've got the kids that want me to watch a film with them tonight, so I thought, okay, fair enough.
It's just a quick question, but
That's
it's
right.
personal. So.
No problem. No problemo. And we've got William. William said hello. We've got 6, but only William is he's the only one that's supposed to be chatting with us. Oh no, Rita. Hello, hello,
Hi,
Rita.
Hi, Rita. Hello, my sister.
There you go.
Even though she's right next to me.
Wow.
That doesn't count.
That's true. That is true.
Rita.
Yes,
love Rita.
I was just saying. Oh, hello, Hazel.
Hi.
Hello, Hazel.
Hello.
Hey, Hazel.
She got a warm, cozy thing on.
Oh, I'm cozy today.
Do you know I don't feel so bad because I'm wearing my Venom dressing because I don't feel so bad when I wear it.
When I'm working from home, I wear this. It's cold in the kitchen, so I wear this.
Good idea, actually.
And then if anyone like video calls me, I have to take it off quick, and then I've got something more.
Oh, but I was cold all week, and you can hear it on my chest. It's been horrible.
Oh,
everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting colds.
I mean, 5 weeks. I'm 5 weeks in now.
Have you still got it?
I still got my cough, and I'm still bringing up all that stuff and chest hurts, and it's still going on.
God.
Lovely.
I found the doctors. I phoned the doctors yesterday. You can't get an appointment, can you?
No.
So I got onto the
No.
doctor. I got through to the receptionist.
Jeremy.
So she.
Hi,
Hey,
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
I waited about. Hi, Jeremy. I waited about half an hour to get through to the doctors to speak to a receptionist that told me that I have to go through the internet.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I think I've got a chest infection. Find it a bit hard to breathe, and it's really well. It's X, Y, and Z. No, then you'll need to go through the internet. So I went through the internet, phoned them. They sent me a thing, and I said, no, I can't come in today. Oh well, then you'll have to let us know when you can come in. It's not. So you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't get an
I'm
appointment.
not,
You can't get an
going to
appointment.
bother. I'm not going to bother. It's pointless. No wonder
Where
people
do
are
you
dropping left, right, and centre ill. Anyway, enough moaning about that. Oh, thanks, Rita.
Just the way you're such a brave little soldier, isn't it?
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Bless him.
We'll do. We will.
Let's get a form starts out.
Yeah, I know. Right. So, what are we? Who's that? Oh, hang on.
Yes,
Oh, William, Mr. Southey.
Mr. Sunny!
Greetings to
hello.
you.
I'm on the
Hello.
road.
So, history versus the paranormal. That's the subject tonight, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, obviously, I think to be a paranormal
Okay.
investigator,
No,
you've
hold on.
got to have a penchant for history. You've got to have a love of history.
Yeah.
Because I think,
Yeah, he's on the phone.
that's fair
Sorry.
enough. I think without it, I don't really see the point or purpose of it. Because I think it's the history that I love as much as hopefully trying to communicate with those from beyond. Because it's the thought of liaising or talking to somebody from a different time period. So these time periods that you can imagine through history, I've never been one for trying to sort of, I've never been that interested in getting in contact with people like kings or princes or even famous people. It's always been the ordinary man or woman that I've wanted to talk to,
Yeah.
grassroots life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
that's
no, I get
probably where the best stories are, in all honesty. And it's and for me, it's one's very much hand in glove with the other. They don't, if you haven't got an interest in history, I don't really think the paranormal is much point in it. It's because it's contacting with those that have gone before our history, our ancestors, whatever. It's and that for me is what it is.
Yeah. And
Do you know what it is to me? I think first and foremost, history is important, and if you go on the internet, you can see why history is important, and they block it for you. A lot of people are not interested in looking at that because I don't want to be a historian. But seriously, go back to your school days. Why is history important? History helps us to understand change. History helps us to become inspired. History helps develop an understanding of the world. History, you should learn from mistakes that went prior. History helps you understand identity. History helps you understand diverse perspectives in history. History builds better citizenship.
Hey, Nettie.
History helps in critical thinking. And history also helps understand our past. Now, when you look at that as a whole, these are just normal everyday things, some of them, critical thinking, that the paranormal investigators or the ghost hunters, they can't. They just want this quick fix of seeing a ghost.
Yeah.
And they'll accept anything that comes along. So that critical thinking part, gone. Strike that off the list.
It is more to do, isn't it? It's more to do than communication with the dead, isn't it? It's more to do with a connection to who you are, because we didn't get here to the point that we're at today without our ancestors.
Exactly.
It's all of those stories, all of those little nooks and crannies in history that make us who we are today and get us to the point that we're at.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's amazing, and I think that people don't understand that. It's like when you look at a graveyard. I've said it before and I'll say it again. When I look at a graveyard, it's not a place of sadness. To me, it's like a library. All those different, each grave is a life. Each grave is a story.
Yeah.
And the thing is trying to connect with those people. Don't forget them. Don't just bury them and forget them. Go there, drink it in, absorb it, and just realise that you're in a place of great mystery and great history. and then it's
Yeah.
all there for you to hopefully to open up and communicate with. And that's where people
Right.
go wrong. I think people were too. They don't. Well, forget the past. You don't look at the past. But people don't look at the past, and that's how mistakes are made.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's not just
Exactly,
that. When you're
exactly.
when you're going into these buildings as well, you've got to respect these buildings as well because they're part of history as well. So when you're going in there acting like an idiot and ruining it, vandalising it, or whatever, you're really ruining history when you think about it. So definitely, I totally agree with what you're saying. History is a big thing, especially when you're going into
Not
these
just
places.
buildings. It's not just the building.
Uh-huh.
It's the land the buildings sit
Yeah.
on. What's
Yeah.
on? What's underneath it? I mean, in
Do you know what
Scotland,
annoys
you've got
me as
so
well?
much.
When people go on about, and it really grates on me, I'm sorry, people go on about cultural appropriation, right? Oh, cultural appropriation is a terrible thing. No, it's not. That's how we've got to the point we are today, by sharing people's ideas, looking at different cultures, absorbing some of the stuff from different cultures. Everybody's nitpicked stuff from different cultures.
Mhm.
You know, it's where what we are. It's the essence of who we are today. Oh, they're all on
Yeah.
the phone at night. They're all busy.
But I would definitely watch as well, with guys, when you
Right.
are doing your research of history, like where you're getting your sources and that, because some of these sources can be sometimes off.
Well, a
Especially
lot of
when you
history
are doing
today's
in
been
the way.
rewritten, isn't it? A lot of history
Uh-huh.
today's been rewritten.
All right, bye, Eric.
Was there? He's gone.
He's gone. So it's definitely when you're researching these places and looking at the history, it is good to sometimes actually ask the place itself, because 9 times out of 10 these places have books, they have information. Because I can remember when I went to my first ever investigation as a researcher, and I was getting dead stressed because I couldn't find history on this place. And the guy who owns the team was like, "Don't get stressed." They said, you will get information." And when I went to the hotel, the manager, or he's not the manager, he's like, he is kind of a manager, but he's not, if that makes sense. Anyway, he handed me this book and told me I could keep it. And the information was just astronomical, and that's how I actually learned that all about Alistair Cowley was actually through this book.
Do you know what?
So
I
it was
wonder.
really,
People say, like, when we try and communicate with the dead, we try and communicate with those that have passed over. What would be the sum totals of a living being? Would it be a human? Which is, yeah, we know that. But then it's all. I think that anything that's imbued with love and adoration takes on its own form, if you like, takes on its own life. So why can't buildings do that? Can't Eve?
But the thing is that the buildings do, because when you look at sorry, my mind is just still in
That's
VAT.
right.
So from work, it was a heavy day. When you look at these hauntings that are replays, the buildings or the objects around or in the buildings are replaying certain events. So the buildings actually do speak to us.
But what I mean is, why can't the building, because of the love and that's imbued in it, why can't that take on its own dimension of becoming a living being?
You mean like show itself in another way?
Yeah. Why can't the building become a living thing, even if it's like just for a spiritual dimension?
Like Sutton Hoo, they're supposed that that famous Viking that was buried.
Yeah.
Hoo, so they think he was a king. His actual vehicle that he was buried in, so the ship, apparently reanimates once a year. So
yeah.
Class that as a building. It's not he himself; it's the actual ship. So is that showing the love? I don't know.
How many people have driven through somewhere, past a building or past somewhere, I've never seen that before, and then they'll go back and never see it again. And it was a building in that. I mean, you hear stories like that all the time, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they apparate from nowhere. Now, whether that's a time slip, I don't know, or whether it is just something apparating, I don't know. But it can hold its own consciousness, I guess. If you
Yeah.
imbue that love into it,
Yeah.
there's no reason, I suppose, that it can't, manifest its own energy.
I want to just bring it back down just for a second, because you talked about graveyards.
Yeah, sorry, Viv. Yeah.
And when you did, what came to my mind was the most viewed grave in the history of man. I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me. Hasn't that got to be Tutankhamun's tomb?
Boom in
It's got to be
Egypt.
up there, isn't it? It's got to be
Yeah.
up there,
It's gotta
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, and that brings it back into the history part.
Yeah.
And it's only because of the riches which made it as famous as it was. But that's one of the graves, the most visited graves, I think, in the world. So going to see a grave like that, I don't think that's a bad thing. So whether you're going to the Valley of the Kings to see that, or nipping down the local graveyard to see, I don't know, Flora that was buried there. She's got a pretty grave, but I like it, so I'll go and see it, and I'll go and talk to her. I'll take my voice recorder just to see if I get a response.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, again, like history, I just think it's amazing. And paranormal, they do go side by side. I don't care what. This is my personal opinion. They do go side by side.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
important
God,
that they do. It's important that they do.
Talking
Well,
about things. Sorry, go on, Lo.
No, on you go, honey.
No, you go. Go on, mate. I'll...
What I was going to say is, because if you think about it, without these histories, we wouldn't have paranormal at all.
No.
Like you wouldn't have nothing. So it is always good to remember the history, and it's good getting into these buildings also, because you don't know what era's going to come through. It could come in for the beginning, it could come in for recent, it could come in whenever.
I think
Yeah.
paranormal's always been there before you even think about the history. When you think about our ancestors, and they were celebrating other beings and deities and that sort of thing, I think you're talking about it more from a modern day perspective. If you go right back, paranormal has always been there, but back then it would have been called something else. Like going to the forest to offer a sacrifice.
Yeah,
is that
they just
paranormal? I think it is.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Back then, it would have just been a normal part of life. But we've kind of, with modern society, in the way that we've kind of moved ourselves away from it.
Yeah.
Moved that, and we've lost that. Not lost, but that connection's become snowed under somewhat.
Yeah.
It's had a lot of digging to get back to that.
Yeah.
Interesting thing I was going to bring up. I was watching a program last night. It was about a guy called. It was interesting. I've never even heard. Well, I'm not really. I heard of the guy's music that he's written. It was a guy called Joe Meeks back in the '60s, and Joe Meeks was he wrote Telstar, Johnny Remember Me. He wrote over this shop in London, which was a studio, and he had a mental breakdown. And he ended up killing his landlady and then taking his own life in this shop, above this shop. And but he was a paranormal investigator. And what he was, they said that he was cutting edge. He was one of the guys that has got recording and overlaying and mapping out of tracks. He's the guy, or one of the guys, that invented it. He was created it all. So he was a genius. He really was. And they were saying about him that he used to go to graveyards and he would do, before I guess most people knew what it was, he would take his recording equipment and he would record things. And he's got, which is the weirdest thing, there was a black cat it sounds crazy. There was a black cat in this graveyard and they played your recording. And if the cat is, yes, meow and it's doing that, but it's answering him. And it sounds almost like it's a cross between, like it's a person. So rather than saying meow, it's like it's going meow, 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 that like that. You can make it out. And he never pursued it anymore. He was going to pursue it, but then I think he just lost his mind and killed himself.
Could come here and listen to John. John speaks. He says no.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Aye.
I mean, is that?
So does
It
Matthew.
made me think: is that the way to go? Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
do you know what? It sounds mad. Is it
No,
worth
I-
taking one of these
No,
birds
not
that can
at all.
talk? You know, with
Not
a
at all.
human, almost like human vocal cords, to take a bird there that's got the ability, and then to see if it can be manipulated to speak.
Yeah.
Sounds mental. Anyway, but that's going off. Sorry, I'm going off.
No, I think that's
Sorry.
great.
No, I actually really like it. I'm enjoying it.
So, understanding our past
Mhm.
and paranormal. It depends, I think, on how far you want to really understand the past. Do you just go modern day history? Do you take it back further? I mean, those pagans out there, they'll take it right back and go right back to grassroots, where if you're not pagan or not that way inclined, you wouldn't know what we're talking about half the time. So I think understanding our past and the places, not so much if you're going visiting, like if you're in a foreign country. I mean, while you're there, you want to learn as much as you can about the place and enjoy it, but understanding the past. Do you think that's important, guys? Jay? Lo?
Yeah, I do. I think it really is. And again, I suppose, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I suppose it gives you a sense of your identity and who you are and where you've came from, sort of thing. That's why I think it's great when I read stories of these ancestry DNAs, because, and I still am determined I would love to do mine to find out where I came from.
Scotland.
But I love hearing stories when shut up you. I know where you came from, the Cabbage Patch. But definitely, but
Those made by
it does,
girders.
yeah, aye, exactly. But it does give you a sense of identity, definitely. I mean, really, I would love to see how far back I could go in my life, and even tie in with my modern life now. Well, why do I like this? Why do I do that? Type of thing. Because if you think about it, it does have, in a self-conscious, unconscious way, me have an impact on what we do today. Why do we do the things we do? Why do we like the things we do?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think the thing that blew me away once is they were doing this. It was years ago, before they'd even done this tracking your family history, and they got this guy, and he was related to his great uncle. So not direct, but sort of semi-direct, not like a great grandfather, but his great uncle. So his grandpa, great grandfather's brother or something. And he'd have a way of standing. The guy'd have a way of standing, and then he'd look. And if you looked at his painting, they said, well, this is your great uncle. And he stood exactly the same way as his great uncle did. Exactly the same stance, right? With his hands like that and one over the other and leaning to one side like that. And not only that, but it was a spit image of him. And so genetically, all that history, all that past, you're carrying it through in your genetics today.
Hey, Laura. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Laura.
I'm bright.
You know,
Bye.
the past
Hey,
is always
Roger.
with you. You're never going to get away from it because you're carrying it in you.
Yeah.
All that history you've got inside you.
Neanderthals. As long as nobody calls you one.
I think we've all got a bit of that, haven't we? All got a bit of Neanderthal in us.
That's Parkes and Neanderthal.
I'm a Neanderthal.
No, you are Dun.
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 The tribe from the tribe of Dun.
Dun.
Over the hills and far away, like the fucking Teletubbies.
So when we talk about history and understanding change and how we've sort of evolved and arrived at present day man, do you think that that's important when investigating with our ability to adapt to the way that we're investigating, to the venue we're investigating? Thoughts?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah.
We don't go there and go, well, this is the history. Obviously, we look at the history before we go, but it's not the chance that, you know, for instance, like when we went to for my birthday weekend down in the mansion, you know, when I got
The one you screamed at.
when, yeah, okay, let me put it correctly. When I screamed with that little boy, was he there at that point of that time of when the house was built? I don't know.
Was he there before that? Yeah, good.
Well, exactly. You never know, do you? It's
No.
the same kind of stuff when we went to France. You know, when we did the World War One stuff. It was obviously for the history and where everything took place, but it was obviously going down to Tyne Cot to see the war graves, you know, and that kind of opened my eyes because it wasn't on a daily basis. It was like thousands of soldiers a day.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like it was only a few. We're talking thousands per day. You know, so it was kind of that there was a history to what we was doing as well. But it was kind of at the end, it was respect, if that makes sense. But if we got anything from that era, it would have kind of helped like nitpicking a puzzle, if that makes sense.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It does make sense. I mean, I've never done places like that. I've been there, but I've never ever investigated. And I would think that the amount of history and the amount of death, because I mean that was just a giant. It was a killing machine, wasn't it? That was what it was. And you look at the Somme, people think, oh, the Somme was one battle. It went on for 4 months.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like this is like just churning people in, hundreds of thousands, millions, just going into the slaughter. So there's got to be activity there.
Yeah,
Passchendaele, that's another
so
one.
That was full on, you know.
Another one, you know, Ypres and all that. It's you know, it's Picardy, you know, all that's. Oh yeah, Joe.
But like
Picardy and all
even
that.
Like you guys were saying about like buildings talking. You know, when we went to Ypres, you know, like in the First World War, when it got absolutely smashed, the Germans had to rebuild it how it stood. You know, and there was like places like in the town hall and that still had bullet holes.
Yeah.
Through, so it's kind of, you know, it's, you see the buildings, yes, but if they could talk, you know, what would it be? You know, like we were, like you guys were saying.
What about when you move? Like, I know a castle in Scotland. Hi, Jacqueline. A castle in Scotland. There's 2 castles. They're called the sister castles.
There's hundreds of them, isn't there? Scotland's full of them, isn't it?
I'm sick of seeing castles. These 2 sister castles, and I think one had a fire, so they took some brick from the other one to move it to help build what was damaged in that one. And I think that's good as well, because you can see like a crossover in history, because some of the things that like we got didn't really be like for that place, but it was for the other. So it's to think about that as well. It was things that happened in the other castle, and I just think that's mind blowing. When like,
do you think that's more of a psychic level, or
you'd know that, Viv,
or investigating? Because there's not many places. If you take a brick from this place, you're going to get the haunting that was in that place. But you might pick up on it on a psychic level, being in that place, the other place with the brick in it. So there are sort of varying levels to it. So you can sort of pick up on the history of the other one, but confuse it with this one. Does that make sense? It's not necessarily the haunting.
But it amazes me, because you get some mediums, which I mean, the like proper mediums, you know, Viv, like, you know, the ones that we know and that, and like yourself. And the thing is, they'll go in there. It amazes me when they turn around. Bear in mind, they've got no idea of the history of these properties, and they genuinely haven't, a lot of them. But they'll go in and they'll go, that wall don't belong here. Or
Yeah.
that doorway doesn't belong in this building. That doorway
Yeah.
Yeah.
comes from that way, you know.
Mm.
So I always remember it was weird. We did an investigation with another guy, Mike, who was Mick. He was a good medium. He was very good as well, and he was genuine. He was a lovely, lovely guy. And we did an investigation in Dunstable by Luton, Bedfordshire. And we walked into this house, and he said to me, and I didn't give it a thought. He went, "There's a connection here for you, like to me." And I'm thinking, really? I don't know if he went down there. He went, "There's a cemetery." And Mick didn't know this. He didn't know this at all. I went, "Yeah." He went. He said, "I'm telling. It's pulling me in that direction." And then it dawned on me. He went, "That cemetery. There's a connection to you. That cemetery." Then it dawned on me. My uncle was buried in there,
Oh,
and he
wow.
was like a second dad to me.
Yeah.
When my dad passed, he was the one that came in and sort of, you know,
Helped
picked
you
up
out,
the pieces and helped me out and looked after us, you know. And it was like, and it didn't even dawn on me. And yet he went, there's somebody in that cemetery connected to you, something. And then it dawned on me like that about an hour later. Shit, my uncle's buried there. You know, and it's like they can pick these things up, and it amazes me. It's like information that they're reading off the environment.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And that blows me away more than like speaking to somebody who's I've got your auntie or your uncle or whatever, but picking up on things like that.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, well, you
Yeah.
know, if walking into a building, that's not here, that's not meant to be here. That weren't there, that should be over there, you know.
So what about understanding? Okay, so this is a hard one. I love throwing you hard questions. What about so understanding history? You would understand that in time we've had some very dark parts of our history.
Yep.
And people will always say, now excuse how I'm going to say this, but they will say, why don't we get any ghosts of a black man? Why don't we see any Indians in turbans? Why don't we see this? And why don't we see that? Because you're not looking. You've not done your research. Therefore, you're not looking for it. So you're not going to see it. So unless you're actually looking for it, how are you going to know? So your thoughts on that?
Anybody?
Crack on, Dan. I'm still thinking, mate.
Well, I think that, I mean, I don't see what people see. I mean, the thing is, I don't think we know half the time when we're looking at spirits. So we could be seeing a little Indian man or a guy from Jamaica who could be on a bus or whatever, and he might have been passed over and he might not be with us in this physical realm. I think of it when you look at it as well. I think if you look at it like, if you look at it, the what would you call them? The demographic of the country. This country for thousands of years has been white, right? Through the centuries, it's been white. You've had black people come over, of course you have. You had different people through different times coming over, but none of that was really until sort of the 50s when they came over with Windrush and stuff. A lot of the kids I went to school with, their parents had come over from Jamaica and stuff on the, you know, they come over on the boats and what have you, and maybe that's why. It's like if you go to India, how many white spirits would you see? Because demographically, it's Indian people.
Yeah, it's not the culture, is it?
It's not their, you know. But I mean, there probably are, without a doubt. There's going to be people that are white that love India and have passed away in India and lived there all their life, and that, you know, that's where they want to be. Same over here. You got black people over here, Asian people, Chinese people. Their families are still here. You know, they might have loved being here. You know, they're born here.
I brought up that because of an investigation that I did, and I actually got onto a wagon that was built for a Indian guy who was a servant of Queen Victoria.
Oh yes, you told me, yeah.
And in that actual wagon, we just got a bit stupid, and there was an EVP that was recorded. Could you tell us who Jack the Ripper is? And in a man's voice, which I believe, we don't know, we'd have to do more investigations into it, but we believe it was the person that lived in this wagon, this Indian man who was brought over from Queen Victoria, gave us a name. a
Oh,
name
wow.
they reckoned was, and we were gobsmacked when we got that. But anyway, I digress. So that was why I asked, because we're not looking for it. We got that by
No.
mistake, by sheer fluke, and we did some research and we got to know about this Indian guy who was associated with Queen Victoria.
Yeah,
Not well known. I mean, when we weren't looking for it, which was
No.
which was interesting.
I think did she had an Indian fella? I think it was actually a lover, wasn't he?
Yeah, they say it was he's like her lover. Yeah,
I love it, yeah.
I think-
controversial.
what's the fella's name?
Woohoo!
But
I used to know the guy's
again-
name. I can't
On
remember
the
his name
side.
now.
But again, it does come back to if you're not looking for something, and if it doesn't appear up, then you're not going to know. You're just going to assume. If you're focused in one part of history to research a building and not really looked at the rest of the history, you're not going to be looking for these other people that could be multicultural.
To be honest,
I mean,
I
people
I
just-
can't. I
Aye,
couldn't even tell a white ghost.
Oh my God.
No.
But then people say, why don't you see dinosaurs? Well, you're not looking for them, so
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
exactly.
which blows the stone tape theory out of the water.
Yeah.
You know, spirits of animals. You'll look for a dog or a cat, but outside of that, would you look for anything more?
No.
We
No,
were
probably not, no.
inundated with wolves and all sorts of animals, but yeah, we're dismissing them. I think we're doing it to ourselves, really, aren't we?
mm,
We are. It's an odd one, isn't it? I think it's the thing is reality's a weird thing, and I always say it. Reality's a bloody weird thing, and so we'll never be able to understand or get the concept of or get conceptual of history. Of reality. So anything's out for discussion, isn't it? Anything's up for grabs.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think there are, William. I think there are lots of energies around us and not just human.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
can you imagine like a psychic medium saying, "I sense a T-Rex and it's coming in that direction"?
But
It's like one of those bad. How would you react? Seriously,
I'll start humming the Flintstones. Dun, 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 dun.
But sensing, I mean, using a medium in that respect for backing up any evidence that's found and anything that's recorded, great. But when it comes to physically proving and trying to prove and trying to show and trying to sort of learn and
No.
understand, you need that physical bit of evidence.
Yeah, you
So
do.
if the medium says to you, go over there and take 50 pictures, just go in there and take loads of pictures, and then you get something that looks like a T-Rex, and they say, yeah, I
Right.
saw that T-Rex. Great. They're telling someone there's a T-Rex in there. They're going to pick it up.
Yeah.
That would be like, wow. I'll go and
I
kiss
think,
that medium's feet,
I literally, if someone proves me wrong tonight, we showed me a picture of a T-Rex in spirit, I'll eat my words. I will eat my words.
What if it's not a T-Rex? What if it's one of those Stegosaurus things
With a kilt
Oh.
on.
with a kilt on,
With a
drinking iron brew?
Maybe it's a Nessie. Maybe we'll finally discover Nessie. But I couldn't tell you about dinosaurs, but see my wee nephew, he can tell you everything about dinosaurs.
Yeah,
But then
kids love them, don't they?
Nessie-
Kids absolutely love them.
People claim to see Nessie. Is Nessie not a dinosaur?
Yeah.
Is Nessie not a spirit?
Part of.
Yeah, could
Nessie-
be. Spirit of a dinosaur.
Could be
Mhm.
a spirit,
Nessie's a
couldn't it?
teddy
Which is
that
why
sits
it's so
in the-
elusive. I mean, they got one in America, haven't they? They got one like a Nessie type character out there somewhere, haven't they?
And in
Could be the
Ireland,
same thing.
one shown up in Ireland as well. Nessie goes on holiday.
Visiting the
Ireland.
Irish
No.
cousins.
Yeah.
The Celtic roots.
Nessie's getting a selfie.
Going to see Mac Nessie's off to see O Nessie.
It'll be Nessie's in the hood.
But when you do
Oh,
see
wow,
something
yeah.
different, when you see something different, something that's unexpected, something that you haven't connected with the place. So when you do actually see it with your own eyes, Dan, church graveyard, floaty things,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
Let's quote that.
to be honest, I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined anything like that. I mean, obviously, you see things that it's similar in the similar. They're more or less a spot on exactly the same, but you see them in the films and the movies and stuff. But you would never expect to see that
it in real
replicated in real life, or
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, William, it caught us unaware, William, what we saw, and if it had been if it was one thing, it would have sparked more intrigue than anything else. But because there was 4 of them, and we'd never seen anything like it, it was frightening.
Mm.
They didn't frighten us. I think we frightened ourselves.
Yeah.
And seriously, I think Dan was a little bit frightened.
I'm too stupid to be frightened. It's not that people look and go, "Oh, he's brave," and no, it's I'm too stupid to realise what danger I'm in.
It's like falling into that bracket where if people don't understand what something is that they're seeing, it's evil. It's a demon. In America, they call it a demon.
Oh, I
It's
hear
evil.
that one.
Or it's negative. No, it's
Yeah.
not negative, and it's not evil, and it's not a demon. I just don't understand it.
No.
Don't understand it, so they put a
I think
name on it.
that's the thing, and there are things out there that are demonic, and there are things out there that are evil. But the chances of coming across something like that, I think that's pretty remote. I would imagine. But you know, I mean, the investigations we've been all over the years with,
Yeah,
And
we've been
we-
on loads of these.
we've come away all right, haven't we? You know, as far as we know, we've not been. You know,
We come away. I say to Dan, and I have a little rant in the car.
More than a
sit-
rant.
I sit in the car and I say, "Oh, that medium, like the sound of their own voice, wouldn't shut up." Then they would say, "Oh, I don't like this room. It's evil. It's negative. It's negative. It's evil." But they won't tell you why. They
No,
go, "You
no.
can't go in there. You can't go in
No,
there.
no.
It's too
Yeah,
negative.
yeah.
Can't let public in there. It's too negative." One, they won't tell you why it's negative, where they're getting their information from, and why we should stay away from it. They're not telling you any of that. It's just all ego. And as an inquisitive mind, and as a medium myself, lazy mediumship, you could be lying. Now I want to go in that room.
To find out yourself, yeah.
See what I mean? It's just.
Mm.
But anyway, Dan's the same. Dan go, "Try the door handle and then see if it opens. And if it opens, and then he'd be like, I'll be peering around. You're not pushing me in there. Go on, you go first." So thanks, Dan.
Or send Jay in, he'll be right.
Yeah, we'll send Jay in. Just lock him in there. Listen to him scream.
I would.
He's crying like a bitch. Did the little boy touch his hand?
Well, I didn't see you come running out the fucking kitchen, did I?
I know he was only 8 years old and he's only 2 foot high, but he terrified me.
It was funny. It's like he scared
That was
me.
good.
at
That was a
first.
good week. That was a good weekend, though. That was your
It's-
birthday weekend. That was a great weekend.
Yeah,
We got to do that. We got to replicate that this year, haven't we?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm big 40 this year, so
Let's go
You're
to
40
France.
We
before
got to
me.
do it then this
Dan.
year, right? We got to do it.
Dan, we're going to France. I've decided. 3 of us.
That'd be good.
Eurostar, Paris, Catacombs.
Mind you, the way things are in France, it might be all burnt down by the time we get there.
Just don't take any matches or lighters.
why? What's going on in France? What have I missed?
All the farmers and the government.
Oh,
and
the farm. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just.
he is
small.
like most tall. All he needs is a blonde wig.
Yeah. Oh,
Well,
dear.
Viv does anyway.
That
What?
was good. Good weekend. That was.
Listen, I have you know I'm going ginger.
I'm going bald.
Just like
You're just jealous, you prick, because you were the suit ginger.
That's who you remind me of. And I had one when I was a kid. Do you remember those? Do you remember those? Do you remember those ventriloquist dummies that had ginger hair and speckled?
yeah.
Do you remember?
With a bow tie.
Know how I was going to be nice to you on your
I can't
birthday?
even find a fucking picture. Oh, I used to have one as a kid.
Or
There's
them
your
hats you
birthday
get,
present.
with the ginger, the hats and the ginger around the hat.
Oh dear.
Yous
Oh,
have just been stripped the piss out me, used to. I'm going grey.
I'd go hunting stuff.
There's
They had trouble keeping builders. No, it wasn't that, William. They had trouble keeping builders there because in the Victorian period they were French and they're renowned to be lazy bastards. They had trouble keeping them there. Sacre bleu, ghost, I'm Earth.
Bring the white flag out.
But ghosts complained.
It'd be like, woo.
Ooh la la, get in the car.
get in the car. There is a
It
guy.
flattened the shit out of me.
He lives there, doesn't he? There's a guy that lives there. The
Yes, he does.
It's only
Yeah.
in a certain part of it, though.
Oh,
And he's fine with it, isn't he?
Yeah, he don't care.
Hi,
does he?
Robin. Hope you're well.
Robin. Hey, Robin.
Things up each other. Oh,
We've gone from talking paranormal history to sticking fingers up at each other.
thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Oh
Bless you.
dear.
That's French for hello, William. Didn't you know that? That's French for hello. That's their French wave.
So another important thing that I think we've not even hit, which we should. Sorry about my hair. Is when we talk about history.
Sorry. Sarah.
I know.
I
When
see
we,
down
talk,
as improving Anglo-French relations.
when we talk about history, it's one thing we haven't spoken about, which I think is all it's all mixed in with this history, paranormal, which are the ley lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because some of our historic, oh yes, Rita, some of our historic places here in the UK, I can't talk about abroad, but some of our historic places are built on some major ley lines, and one of them for William Southey, I'm going to bring it up, which is the Tor at Glastonbury.
Oh, I love the tour of Glastonbury.
Which has a lot of major ley lines that meet and cross over, and then you've got the Tor on top. I've taken some weird pictures up there. Seriously,
a lot of energy there, isn't there?
Yes, very weird.
You can feel it, can't you? You can feel it.
Yeah. So, what
Beautiful.
are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that perspective with history, paranormal, and ley lines?
I would have to agree because there's a town in Peebles, and it's full of ley lines, and the activity we've had up in Peebles, I would say 100%. I totally agree with ley lines, because it's not just coincidence that one place has the same haunting as the next. You know, it's identical stories. So yeah, I'm a big believer in ley lines.
I think those ancient earth energies are definitely a real thing.
Yeah.
Well,
they were worshipped, weren't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, my brother, he doesn't give credit to any of that, or he doesn't buy into it or anything like that. And we was talking about, because I used to like going to Avebury quite a lot. I haven't done for a couple of years, but I used to love going to Avebury. And he was talking about Avebury, and he went, you know what? He's just, and he was very he would never ever pass comment on anything like that. He said the weird thing was, he went, I went to Avebury. He said, and I got near one of them stones. He went, and the bloody thing was vibrating.
Yeah.
He said, and I could feel it. I
Feel
could
it.
feel the vibration from it. And I went, well, yeah, they will do. It's like ancient earth energies. Now, he obviously didn't. He didn't sort of poo-poo it, because I think it had given him sort of food for thought. You know.
Yeah. The Singapore theory, sort of, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only got about 1,000 years. In English, you wouldn't understand it.
We're all speaking. It sounded German, didn't it?
Yeah, a lot of it was from German dialect, wasn't it? German and French.
Yeah.
Dialect, but yeah, ancient English, is just impossible to understand. I mean, even if you go back to sort of what I'm trying to think,
Tudor.
Well, yeah, going back to what's his name? I'm trying to think Canterbury Tales. Can't think of the
Oh,
fellow's name.
Shakespeare. Shakespeare.
No, the other guy, not Shakespeare. Canterbury Tales was. Oh, I can't think of his name. Bloody hell! I should remember it. I know his name. I can't remember it. Somebody, William might know it. William might know the guy. And you look at that. You look at that written in English, Old English, and it's impossible to. I mean, you can understand the words individually, but the way that it's constructed. Chaucer, thank you.
Is that
William.
by
Thank
Geoffrey?
you, William Chaucer. Yes.
Is it
You look at the way
Chaucer?
it's constructed. It's like a friend of mine is German, and he lives in Romania, and I used to work in Romania, and I used to go out and spend time with him as well, and his wife. Love a couple of people, both German. And there's a village. Romania's got a high percentage of a lot of the villages look like little German fairy tale villages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, very pretty, beautiful. Germany's beautiful, but they look very pretty. And he said to me that they were Germans that left Germany 1,000 years ago and migrated across into Eastern Europe, into Romania, and they still speak High German. And I said, so can you not have a conversation with them? He went, no. He said, I don't understand a word of what they say. And it's like, and this is a guy who could speak several languages. He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Jason says, what are your thoughts on
Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, exactly. So German.
stone
exactly.
tape theory, and is it more convincing than active haunting?
Is what, sorry? Even though your thoughts on stone theory, is it more convincing than active haunting? Do you know what, Jason? I think, I'm not sure. I don't know about stone theory, to be honest with you.
I don't believe in
really
it at all.
know if I give it much credence, to be honest with you.
I don't.
I think
don't
we're
at all.
barking up the wrong tree. I mean, the whole concept of that came out of a film, didn't it, in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
It was the same with the, a lot of the poltergeist information that people, you hear these ghost hunters banging about today with poltergeist information. It's came out of script.
Yeah.
There's no real truth behind a lot of it, you know.
Or is it the Warrens? They got a lot to blame for. I blame them on, because they were all about the Wonga.
I think they turned the paranormal into a bit of a circus, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
You know, I mean, I'm not
Sorry.
saying. I mean,
the nice people. Yeah, nice
She
people,
seemed
but
very nice lady, bless her. You know, but I just think that, no. But not just the Warrens. I think there's loads of them out there that do right across the spectrum. British people, American, whoever, anywhere. You've got it all in the world. Yvette Fielding, yeah.
The she-devil of England.
Yvette, ooh.
So
That's it, Sarah. Jeffrey Chaucer, thank you. Yeah.
She's a good girl, is us. Oh, we were talking about coming to Barry Island this year. Me and Parker were talking about it.
Oh, Barry Island's good.
We're going. Dan, we're going.
Where was that else I went to in Wales? I had a mate lived there. Tiger Bay.
Tiger Bay?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's a nice name, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
So, diverse perspectives. Oh, what's this?
And that says...
Shall I get it up? I got it up.
Sorry. I've just done some history hunting on East Drive. I didn't know it's on a junction that are renowned for suicides and executions as well as the Battle of... I did not know that, Annette. I didn't know that. Didn't know that.
Aren't they saying that 30 East Drive was just all made up for the film? That the Black Monk of Pontefract is actually haunting somewhere else?
Yeah, I used to have a book on it. The monk. It wasn't Pontefract. It was the Black Monk of somewhere else.
Yeah.
It was up north, but I can't think. It might have been Sheffield or somewhere. Might have been Sheffield, actually, somewhere in Sheffield. They had the Sheffield poltergeist.
Yeah.
For some reason, when he laughed at the name of Yvette, can't drink water.
A lot of people will like that comment, Jason. Oh dear.
Do you know what I like, Gavin and Stacey? I just can't stand that fat bastard.
James Corden.
Yeah. Don't like
I can't
him.
stand them either.
Don't like
I
him.
don't watch Gavin and Stacey.
I used to love it. I used to love Gavin and Stacey.
Yeah, so did I.
was good.
I can't get into it either, Viv, so I'm glad I'm not the only one. I can't. I've tried watching it and I just can't. It's the same as the In-Betweeners. I can't get into that either.
No,
that is
oh,
quality.
I used to like the
Absolute
In-Betweeners.
quality.
I used to love the In-Between.
Yeah, I do.
I
Yeah,
think, do you know why it
No.
appeals to us? Because we're blokes of that age who've gone through that schooling system.
yeah.
Oh my god.
It
Let's
kind
be
of
honest,
reminds me
boys
of
are
my
idiots.
school.
Let's be honest, boys are complete idiots, aren't
Yep, I can definitely.
they? Do you know what? I'd be surprised if they do make another one of those Gavin and Stacey, because the guy who played Gavin in it can't stand James Corden, and when they
No, they're not best mates
he said, "I'd
anymore,
never
are they?
work with him ever again."
No.
A lot
Oh,
of people say that about James Corden. He's banned from many places in America because
He's
his
a rude
attitude.
arrogant-
Hated, and he's hated.
Rude,
Friday night
arrogant
dinner,
fella.
yeah, that was. I like that, Sarah. What Jason said. Oh, Jason says, just thought of an interesting question to all. Did any of you ever get to meet the late Derek? No, Viv, you
Yes.
did, didn't you?
Yeah,
I
Oh,
didn't
I've
know.
seen the genuine bloke. I knew people that knew him quite really well that worked with him, and just lovely. And he was the genuine article, but the way that he was portrayed.
Yeah, I do know a lot about Derek Okora. He is the genuine article. I can't really speak on Most Haunted because the stuff I know, they would slap something on me if I did talk about it on here. But yes,
Yeah.
he was genuine. And I'm going to say still is, wherever you are, Derek. He's a nice man. He's a very caring man. He thought a lot about his audience that he was talking to. If you went and saw him live, he would actually take the time to come and meet you.
Did see him, yeah.
He a very caring. He would spend time with you. I mean, I knew Derek for a brief while. I knew him quite well, sort of outside of that through Richard. So, yeah, he was and is a genuine bloke.
Pro football. He
Definitely.
played Liverpool, didn't he, as well when he was a kid?
He did
He
play
was on
for
Liverpool
them.
books. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice man.
I could tell you off air if you wanted to know, Jason, but I couldn't do it on a public forum like this because
Yeah.
I would get sued. Put it
But
that
you're on
way.
the right track. It wasn't nice.
Yeah, no. No.
To be honest, it's a sort of thing that I would think you wouldn't do to anybody, even if you didn't particularly like someone, you wouldn't do it to them because it's just it's not on. It's not a nice thing to do.
Yeah, no, it's the bit of it Most Haunted.
Can I just say, and I will have a rant about this, that stupid stage show that is going round and touring Great Britain
Oh
have
yeah.
no right to talk about Derek Okora the way they are doing it today. And if Derek was alive today, I'm sure Derek would see it in the courts because what they're doing is not just horrible, it's disgusting. And if you have to do that to pull crowds in and muddy this man's name, now he's dead in his grave, shame on you.
And I
Yeah.
think the disgusting thing about that is, right, that irrespective of whatever you thought of anybody, it will show you what type they are, type of people they are, and how vile their actions are because his wife is still alive.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And now,
And they
not only
clearly
she got
don't give
to
a
suffer the
shit.
loss of her husband, they were thick as thieves appearing, weren't they? They loved each other.
Yeah,
so
they
much.
do. Yeah, they do.
Not only she got to suffer the loss of her husband, bless her, but she's got to put up with listening to that shit.
Yeah.
And
And his
anybody who
friends as
talks
well.
about anybody who talks
You know.
about, if you ain't got anything nice to say about anybody, don't say anything.
No.
Exactly. You know what it is, Dan? It's they have to do that to make their show interesting.
Jealousy, innit?
The only reason
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing that is because they've run out of money and they're playing on the public to go and see the show, making this big thing, go and see the show. I would tell people, boycott it. Don't buy a ticket.
No, I
They
wouldn't buy a
only
ticket
want
from
your
it.
money. That's all it is.
32
It's because-
I'll
quid
be
for a
honest with you,
ticket
there's-
as well.
There's people that I know that are friends of mine in this field that have gone to see it, and I must admit I'm a bit disappointed in it. Really,
Yeah.
bit disappointed
I
in going
was
along.
because it's in Essex where I live, and they want
It's only up the road,
£32
Mark.
a ticket.
It's up the road, Must, and I was even offered to go with them. Nah, shove
Yeah.
that on
Dan,
brother.
should we
Only
stand
to throw
out?
stuff at them.
We should stand outside with big banners.
Do you know used to
Have a
used
picket
to
line.
literally know what I can see right now is Father Ted used to standing outside the Most Haunted with a handcuff with a barrier protesting, and then some Father Jack coming toddling by on the way in.
What's Jason
Oh.
say?
Oh well.
Yeah, I spoke to Phil Warman. He agrees. He was good friends with Derek, as I'm sure you all know.
Mm,
Yeah, he was good friends with Derek. Yeah. he
Yeah.
was.
But so
He's a
we're
good
at
guy,
8
Phil
o'clock,
Wyman.
guys. So we're going to wrap up the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Dan and I will be back tomorrow. We haven't got a guest tomorrow,
Oh, we
but
can talk crap.
but me and Dan are going to go on and talk crap tomorrow because we're good at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oi, Parker.
Tomorrow I'll be talking about famous ghosts that I would like to have slept with.
As soon as it's your birthday, you pick the subject.
I think the funny thing was there was a guy who bought he bought Marilyn Monroe's the grave above Marilyn Monroe, and he died, and he said, but his wishes were that she was up, facing up, and he wanted to be buried facing down. So she was. And that's a fact.
wow.
That's a fact.
Jesus.
Oh wow.
What's in the jar of doom then, Viv?
Yeah,
go to the jar.
The Jar of Doom is with it's with Eric, but I do have a carbon copy.
Oh, Eric's got one, hasn't he?
He's got
Uh-huh.
because I'm giving up the Jar of Doom, but I will pick something out.
You're passing it over to the jar of doom over to Derek, over to Eric.
Eric
Akora.
Eric.
Erica Conker.
Right, I'll tell you what, because I've not got them since it's Dan's birthday. You tell me, right, hang on, let me open them up, when to stop.
He's
Hang
going to
on.
stay there. You're going to be there for about 10
He
minutes.
might be, Sarah. He might very well be.
Right, Dan, you tell me when to stop, right? And I'm just going to go like this.
Stop. Yes.
Mental health.
Yes. I think that we talked about it before, and I think that's a good subject to talk about with the paranormal. I think that is, yeah. I think that's a good one.
Awesome.
That's a good one.
So if Eric picks that out of the jar next time, we'll just have done that one.
Yeah, we've done it. We've done it, Eric.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you for your inputs.
Thank you all.
We love you very much. Well, not that much, just a little bit. And we appreciate you supporting each and every one of us. As I say, me and Dan will be back tomorrow night. Lois, are you on Thursday night?
On Thursday, we are talking about the Silent Hill, the real Silent Hill story. We're talking about that on Thursday. On Friday, we are talking about Paladoria.
That's good.
So I've got two good shows coming ahead, but yes, that'll be it.
That would be a good show, actually. Yeah. So try and tune into one of the shows, or you can always watch them on catch up.
Yep,
or
definitely.
you can head over to our YouTube channel. We are now also on Twitter and on Twitch, and we what's called X now. X Max.
Oh, it is X, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are on Twitch, and we are on other things as well.
Instagram and things like that. Yeah.
So whatever platform you watch us on, find us there. We will be uploading shows to YouTube as much as we can, but we are restricted. So there's certain things that we cannot mention on YouTube. So if the show is not on there for any reason, and we do apologise, you can find us on Facebook anyway and watch them from there. And I've just seen Mr. Ad Algis. Hi, Ad. We're just about to go.
Hey, he did this to me last
Bye, Ad,
week.
bye, Ad.
One of the shows. Bye, Ad.
Hi, bye.
Wish you well, Ad. Anyway,
Hello,
but
bud.
yes, we will catch you up on the flip sides. But I am going
Flip
to
side.
leave the last words with Jamie Parker because he doesn't really say too much, but he can close the show.
He's a silent, strong type.
I'm all right. I'm good. Just be safe. Take care. And we'll